It was dark all around me, but there was a light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, is there? That sounds like something you don't usually go towards. Don't go towards the light. You! I see crystals! And someone! Uncle Fred, is that you? He say you, Uncle Fred. You! It's me! Your nephew!
Hello?
Hello?
Nephew?
Uncle Fred, I finally found him.
My little boy. I'm glad to see you. And you're wearing the suit I made you. But how can you be here?
I said that I found the suit in his workshop and that I came looking for him.
I'm sorry for being away for so long. But I've been busy down here, you see. The frog people. That was an experiment of mine. Do you remember the eggs I found before? I sent them here by accident, and I had to follow. By the time I got here, they were already growing. These caves were empty before, but my experiment has made them full of life. I've conducted research on them and documented everything about them. And I built a new crystal-powered pad to be able to get back to my colleagues, show them how fantastic this all is.
I interrupted Fred and told him about Maddie, how we came all the way to Starhaven together, and that I had promised to ask him if he would go see her there.
Madeline. My little Maddie. I should have taken her to see Starhaven long ago. She was always so curious about the strays. When I left her, I wanted to protect her. Or rather, protect myself from losing her. I've changed my mind. I'm not going home. What does research or praise matter when I can be here with these creatures? They need me. And it's just as well. I don't trust this pad for more than one ride anyway. You need that ride.
I didn't want to go home, and I asked if I could stay with him and Maddie instead.
I'm sorry, nephew. As much as I enjoy having you here, you must go home. Explore the world on your own. Have your own adventures.
I reluctantly agreed to go home. I was going to miss my uncle.
I will miss you too. But I'm sure you'll do phenomenal on your own. And don't worry about me or Maddie. We'll be fine. The pad is yours, boy. When you're ready.
Well, don't want it. I don't want it. And also, yeah, that's another word, the final word. And yet again, I will tell you very soon what it means. I don't want to go. I want to stay here with the crystals, and Maddie is so sweet. I don't want to. I don't want to. No. No, I tell you, no. I don't care. I'm gonna hit you. But we have to. That's the way it has to be. So, reluctantly, I will step on pad. Oh, not again. At least I go to crystals now.
Take care, son.
Bye. And there we go. That is a story about my uncle. That was a very neat adventure, being sent off by a garbage something pad, off to some strange new world, meeting frog people, finding items, stuff, voice actors, using grapple powers to explore this fantastical world of crystals and frog people, eventually finding our dear Uncle Fred, and a bunch of Easter eggs too, and some weird words that we have not yet translated. Well, maybe you have, maybe I also have. I'm just not telling you what it's all about yet, because we're not quite done. No, that is kind of a spoiler, but we still have kind of an epilogue to do after the wee little credits. So don't you worry, I will talk about it then. Don't you worry about it. I shall keep my promise of telling you about the strange words that are hiding all around in each area. In some cases, 2 in one area. Like right here, even though the end is maybe kind of its own area, just slightly, but meh. Maybe not quite, it's still part of the ice caves. To our friends, family, and loved ones. Yes, loved ones, very important. Also family and friends, all the people. And of course, you. You're welcome. It's a great game. It's a great game, very short. Not overly exciting or anything, but it's a very good game. And I think that's the end of the credits, so moving right along to the epilogue.
The end. Now, good night, sweetie.
Wait, Dad. Does that mean Fred is still there?
Who knows? That was the last time I saw him.
Don't you miss him?
I do, sometimes. But I don't worry about him, because I know that wherever he is, he's on his biggest adventure yet.
And here we are, back at Uncle Fred's place. For whatever reason, so let's have a look around.
Dear Fred, today I step into the lobby of your house for the last time. My daughter asked me to tell her about an adventure, and I came to think of you. Your house looks just like my mother and I left it years ago. After you'd gone, I was sure she was going to throw out all your stuff, but she just cleaned up. We made you a small memorial.
And why would you go ahead and do something like that? Because he's missing forever in some strange world? Why? Why would you make a memorial for a person who's just off doing things?
For a while, I came here every day, just like I used to. Sometimes, I could even faintly hear your voice, calling from the observatory, asking me to get you this tool or that. I never told my mother about that day. I don't think she would have believed me. Can I believe it? After all these years.
Well, I don't know. What, this is just some story you made up? Or were you hallucinating? Were you dreaming? Well, what's going on? Tell me what the hell is going on. Why would you not tell your mother? I know mothers and fathers and parents, just grown-ups in general, don't usually believe silly stories about adventures in strange worlds and all that stuff. Also, who didn't close the dome? Hello, picture. Suddenly hand. FOV slider being weird. It's a letter. A letter on the picture.
Uncle Fred, thanks to you, I have found an even greater adventure. Thank you. Love, your nephew.
And voila. I'm not sure that's a very fitting word for the current situation, but still, that was the true ending. Well, not like it's a different ending depending on collectibles or anything, but that was the proper, real, actual ending with all the epilogue stuff. And I shall now tell you those words. What are those words? I shall take these words in the order they appear. First and foremost, denial, isolation, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Some people may not know what this is. Others may recall it as being the five, even though there's 6 words, but denial and isolation are kinda in the same category. The 5 stages of grief that people usually go through when they lose someone dear to them. First, they deny it, and they isolate themselves. Then, what was it? It was anger. Then they're angry about it. It's like, couldn't we have done something? Couldn't you have done something? Could I have done something? And just pissed because they won't accept what the hell's going on. Then they bargain. It's like, well, maybe this or that, and this could have been done, and if we did this, then things would have been different. Then you start to realize, well, this is actually real. You go into a depression. It's not very nice. And then eventually, after a while, might take days, weeks, years, well, months, years, whatever, eventually you reach acceptance. You accept they're gone, nothing you can do about it, that's just the way it has to be, as annoying and sad as it might be. So really, what's going on here? What is the theory that's going on here? That Uncle Fred, being some kind of explorer and adventurer, eventually went off to some kind of adventure and did not come back. Thus, they're packing up all the things, making him a memorial and all that. And this entire game, well, maybe not the entire game, but most of the game, this entire story about my uncle, Uncle Fred, is basically the way the protagonist, the nephew, is coming to terms with this particular event in his life. Now, I'm not sure if... I'm sure that... Actually, I don't know, but... Looking at the words in the different areas, they might actually... I don't know, be connected. I don't know about denial. Denial and sanctuary, as the first area is called. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not sure if there's a connection there. Isolation in the village? Maybe, because they are isolated at their village because they're like, we are not going to do anything different. We're going to stay right here, be the exact same way we've always been. Then we go to the chasms. There's a monster, so that's kind of anger in that respect. Bargaining. Bargaining at Starhaven. Maybe the whole, well, there's a different civilization out here. It's very nice and everything, so alright, I guess if this is the reason that Uncle Fred is gone, then maybe it's okay, potentially, or something, I don't know. Depression in the ice caves. I don't know with that. Maybe you feel like you can't do anything because you can't grapple onto the ice, so that is the feeling of not being able to do anything about what's going on, maybe. And it's just cold and dark, not very nice at all. And then finally at the end, reluctantly agree to go home and accept that he's gone because he's in another world, taking care of the frog people, studying crystals and everything. So, that is the protagonist's way of dealing with the grief, just coming up with some kind of story that my Uncle Fred is in another world. So, that's where he is. He's not dead or anything, but obviously at this point he knows, yeah, he's dead, but still, it's a nice story. It's a very nice story. And with that, I guess we're basically done. So that was a story about my uncle, and maybe a little weird to start off. The reason that I play this is because I became an uncle. So it's like, I became an uncle, therefore I'm gonna play a game with a story about an uncle who is dead, and his nephew is telling the story as that is his story of dealing with the 5 stages of grief. Maybe a little weird, maybe, just maybe slightly, but still, it made sense to me, and it's okay. It was still very fun, and just because, let's just say my YouTube videos and everything are my legacy, or something along those lines, that one day, people in my family will eventually look at my videos or something. Maybe, just maybe, my nieces, my dear nieces, Lillian, Viola, or Viola, I don't know how you want to pronounce it, I don't know. Either one works. Lillian Viola. Maybe they will stumble upon it, just because it's uncle. It's uncle. It's a story about my uncle, so maybe they will stumble upon it, but even so, no matter who is stumbling upon it, be it, I don't know, other nieces, nephews, sons or daughters, whoever. If, for whatever reason, anyone in my family, or let's also include friends, because they're kind of family too. So, no matter who you are, friend or family, to me, let's just tell you right now, in case I haven't done it at any other point in life. Because now maybe I'm supposedly dead. So, I don't know. I shouldn't laugh about my own death, but whatever. In case I have not told you at any point in life, I'll tell you right now. I love you. There you go. Now you know. no matter where I am, no matter what's happened to me, no matter what's happened to you, I love you. Because you are my family, either by blood or because I chose you to be my family. So, let's just end it with that. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, see ya later.